All right, so for everyone that I haven't met yet, my name is Laura Boonstoppel. I'm a program director at ThinkWell, and we lead a body of work around immunization costing and financing, and that includes the management of this immunization economics community of practice. Next, please. So I'm just going to give a very brief introduction before we go into all the sessions today. Just want to welcome everyone to Bali. Thanks so much for coming out for this great session. I'll start off with a brief introduction of our immunization economics community of practice for those of us that are new. There are many people that, of course, have come to many of our previous sessions already, but just giving a brief introduction for those that are new. Then we'll go over the objectives of today's meeting, today's agenda, and then just a few logistical announcements as well. Next, please. So what is our immunization community of practice about? Our immunization economics community of practice. So we bring together stakeholders with an interest to generate and use economic evidence to improve immunization programs in low and middle income countries. That's the bottom line, the purpose of our community. Next. And so how do we do that? So this is our slightly simplified theory of change. Our goal is to make sure that immunization programs are adequately financed and that resource allocation for immunization programs is optimized. And how do we do that? So we foster this diverse global community of practice to align on research priorities to fill critical evidence gaps. And to advance the evidence base. We serve as a knowledge sharing and capacity building platform to improve access and uptake of evidence. And we facilitate collaboration among researchers and with policymakers to improve evidence-based decision-making in immunization programs. And then the goal of that is to increase the generation of robust policy-relevant economic evidence to support immunization programs, to strengthen capacity to generate such evidence, and then to improve the use of economic evidence in decision making for programming and policy making. Next. So, who are we? So we have 3,500 members at the moment from 115 different countries, from many different organizations across the evidence to policy pathway. So we have people that produce evidence, then we have people that translate it, and those that use it all together. So from many different backgrounds, from academia, we have donors, implementing agencies, governments, CSOs, private sector members, manufacturers, and from the media. And we're very proud to say that 65% of our members are from low and middle income countries. So it really sets us apart from some other communities of practice in our field. Next. And so what do we do very practically? So we have a knowledge platform. We're the only knowledge platform that is solely dedicated to economic evidence for immunization programs. We have a resource library that houses over 900 resources that people can use. Immunizationeconomics.org has almost 8,000 views per month. We have a newsletter with all of our members subscribed to it. We have 2 social media channels with over 53,000 followers total, so that's our reach. And so we have this meeting every 2 years at IHEA as well, where we bring everyone together. And we were actually the first special interest group that IHEA ever created. So next. Then how are we governed and financed? So we have an advisory board member with a large group of people from different backgrounds that are very active in our community that advise on the strategic direction for this community that are shown here on the screen. And we're funded, we've been traditionally funded through the Gates Foundation, and then this year we've transitioned over and we're now funded by Gavi. Next, and managed by us. That's ThinkWell, that's our team who you'll see here in the room. And then so to the objectives of today's meeting, essentially, what are we here for? So we're here to share the latest findings, synthesize learnings, and discuss policy implications from that. So that last part is also very important, that we don't just stop at the research, but what does it mean for practice? We're here to foster partnerships and facilitate peer-to-peer learnings amongst all of you. And we want to align on some of the research priorities going forward. So based on the evidence that we're seeing here today, what are some of the gaps that we as a community should then fill going forward to advance policy making at country and global level both? Next. So an overview of the agenda. So this year's agenda is centered around 3 priority themes, all very much leading into current trends and priorities. So the first one is the economics of reaching zero-dose children. That's what we're here for today. And the other 2 will be discussed tomorrow. We'll go into that in depth tomorrow. So that's financing, sustainability, and donor transitions, and vaccine portfolio optimization and prioritization. So today we're discussing the economics of reaching zero-dose children. Okay. Next. Yeah, thanks. So why are we going over the economics of zero-dose children? So maybe some of you will have seen the latest WUNIC data that came out this week. So at the moment we have 14.3 children that are missed with routine vaccines every year, and we call them zero-dose children. And so the Immunization Agenda 2030 had committed to cut that in half by 2030, and we're not really on track for that. And so countries and donors have invested tremendously in trying to bring that number down, and many new and existing strategies have been leveraged to do so. And so today we're looking at which ones of those have worked, what do they cost, and are they sustainable? Next slide. So here's today's agenda. So first we'll go over the cost of zero-dose focused delivery strategies in hard-to-reach areas. Then we'll have a coffee break right outside here. Then we'll go over the cost of zero-dose focused delivery strategies in urban areas. After that we'll have lunch. Then we'll come back and talk about community-based demand generation interventions. We'll have another coffee break. Then we'll discuss financial incentives and financial reforms. And then we'll try to summarize everything that we've learned over the day. We'll have a rich panel discussion with the audience as well to talk about what have we learned, what are some of the takeaways and next steps. Next slide. And so here are some of the key questions that we want everyone to think about today when we go over all of the rich research that will get presented. So does it cost more to reach zero-dose children? And if so, how much more exactly? And which of these interventions that we'll look at are most promising and which not so much? And what are some of the enabling conditions to make sure that the cost could remain low? And what are some of the sustainability considerations around these zero-dose costing interventions? And are they scalable or not? And then last, what can countries and donors learn from the evidence, and what are the policy implications? So please keep those questions in mind as you're reviewing the presentations and as questions for discussion. So finally, just a few housekeeping essentials. So if you didn't register yet and you just kind of trickled in while we were already starting, please go find my colleagues in the back. That's Astrid and Christina, and they'll get you registered. And everyone will also get a lunch voucher. So we've only just received those, so we'll give you those lunch vouchers, I guess, during the first coffee break. The buffet lunch will be served in the exhibition gallery, not the exhibition hall. So this has changed. It's up on the first floor. If you go out to the main hall on the first floor, I'm sure you'll see everyone walking in the same direction. Very boring, but very important, timekeeping. So for everyone to really stick to the presentation slot that they've been assigned, because otherwise you're eating into other speakers' time, and for everyone to come back in time from coffee breaks so that we have a really packed agenda. And then finally, if you're also registered for the main IHEA Congress, you can register there in the main hall at any time during the day. I think that's it. Next slide. And then I'm going to hand it over to David Bishai, who's going to introduce our very first session of today. Thank you.